Hey everybody, welcome to the six-figure Q4 prep training. But first, can you hear me and see me? Just give me one chat box if you can, please. Making sure everybody is alive and well and happy today. So let me know where you're located too, just while a couple other people trickle in, because I did just fire this thing up. I'm in London, Ontario, Canada. As you know, 2 hours from Toronto and 2 hours from Detroit, Michigan. So everybody hear me? Okay, just give me one. Got a couple ones, good. Everybody awake? Everybody ready for the weekend? I hope so. Okay, so what do we have here? We have BC, always BC, right on. Down the road, down the 401, nice. Newmarket, awesome. Florida, lovely. 3 from California, 1 from Mexico. Who's the furthest away? Is my Singapore guy on here? No, not yet. Okay. Well, I don't blame you. I mean, Singapore is like pretty much on the other side of the world from here, so that would be odd if they were. What else we got here? Where you at? Oh, UK. There we go. Nice. Lovely. All right. So people are still coming in, which is wonderful. I'm going to get started because I do have a lot to cover. So again, thank you very much for coming on. I do have a lot of stuff to show you all about the fourth quarter, which you're probably like, this guy's nuts. It's June. We're entering the third quarter. Why is he talking about the fourth quarter? Well, I'll show you this whole thing. So what are we doing? Well, we're learning how to prep for the fourth quarter rush now. It is basically because failing to plan is planning to fail. And be honest, right? Have you ever planned for the Q4 in the summer before? I know a lot of people have not, and I'm guilty of this myself. And every year, I kick myself for it. Fortunately, you and I will not be making that mistake again. So why is Q4 so important? Well, I just want to show you some numbers here. And I just found these. I hope I can bring up the exact same ones here. But um, how much is spent online in Q4? It's massive. 345.872 billion. And it seems to go up every single year. Like there's no year where I've ever seen the fourth quarter drop at all. And it's because people are buying presents for everybody else. And it's just insane. So for e-commerce, here's a nice one. What they spent by category. I think that was one I was looking at. I don't want full access. Oh, they're blocking me now. But the point is, there's this huge pie out there, and that pie is all the money that people are spending. And people spend that money buying gifts for other people, which means they're even happier to spend it because you're not just like showing them something that they're going to buy for themselves. You're using the gift angle to get them to buy it for somebody else, which they're going to do anyway. And yes, you're right. There's already comments here like everybody's going to Amazon and buying. That 100% does happen. But they will also, if they see something interesting, they their shields are almost down lower and they'll buy it a lot faster than usual. So there's just so much money out there, and it's a matter of getting your piece of the pie. So when I'm looking at like what am I going to sell for the fourth quarter, I'm not going to go out and try and make some unique, weird, super niche down product for a tiny market. I want to go after like the biggest market, and I want to just compete with the big players and get the big piece, the big slice, as big a slice as possible of that pie from them. So the numbers are insane. 345 billion. That's a third of $1 trillion are spent online. And I know Amazon's a big part of this, but for people like us, that should actually be 70 to 80% of our revenue for the year can actually come during the fourth quarter. So if you've been, summertime's weird because a lot of people don't buy all that much online unless you have some good evergreen products running or, wedding engagement type products. The summer slowdown is real. It does happen. So instead of going, okay, well, it's real, I'm just going to ignore it, take the time, the slow period, which is the summer, and prepare for the biggest period, which is Q4, which is October, November, December. If you plan ahead, you cannot help but kick some butt there. So People buy like crazy. They're constantly buying gifts for others year round, but it really ramps up in the fourth quarter. So we want to profit from that, but it all starts with planning ahead. So when October does roll around, we're ready to pounce. Like for us, kids go back to school in September. I know in the US they go back in August, but the period right after that in October is insane online. I've been through a lot of fourth quarters, and even if I was having like a kind of meh year, the fourth quarter will always just more than make up for it. So it's like that thing looming out there where there is hope and there's a lot of money to be made. So let's get into it. And by the end, you too will be pumped for the fourth quarter if you're not already. So what are we going to cover? Basically, three things. Number one is the biggest issues that print-on-demand sellers have with this fourth quarter stuff. Number two is the solutions to all those issues. Number three is what to do next, right? So who's this for? Basically, the following people. Mainly people who usually miss the Q4 buying frenzy because they start too late. They start their like research and testing phase in October instead of like now, basically. So they're not getting sales, they're not happy, they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. They just want to have a solid print on demand business with consistent results. And they've been trying but failing too much now. And who it's not for, basically, negative people, finger pointers, quitters, bad attitudes, all around unpleasant people. You're here, so I'm sure this is for you. And if you do stay till the end, of course, I have something for you. But before we begin, I just want to introduce myself because I know we have a lot of new people in here watching this. So my name's Will Hamrell. I've sold over seven figures in the print-on-demand world so far and counting. Made over seven figures with courses, coaching, and my membership sites. I work at home in my office where am right now at the front of my house. I'm old, just turned 50. I'm stubborn, ask my wife. I love being an online entrepreneur, and I love, more than that, I love helping people succeed. So I once told my wife, we were sitting there at dinner having spaghetti, and I was at my 9 to 5 at the time, working in a 9 to 5. And I said, you know what? I have to quit my day job to start making money. And that was way back in, I think that was July of 2007. And then December 31st was my last day. I did that. So being self-employed means I get to drive my kids to school and pick them up every day. I love it. I'm unemployable at this point. It wasn't easy, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. So enough about me. I think you get the gist. I am an online entrepreneur. I do a lot of different things. This fourth quarter rush is my favorite time of the year, especially with my print on demand stores because it just kicks butt. And it doesn't matter if you have like a dedicated niche type store or if you have a gift shop. It works for everybody because people do buy like crazy for the fourth quarter. So but let's talk about you. Have you made any money in your print on demand business yet? I can see some names in here. I know some of you already have. I see some names too where I know people are struggling a little bit to get to profitability. Once you get that, a few winners under your belt, though, the profits will come. So the other question is, are you happy with your print on demand business? And I already see some answers. No, I hate it. I just want to make money. Why can't this work for me? I get it. You know what? Which leads me to this: are you stuck? Is something kind of holding you back from profits? And sometimes it can be as simple as a few tweaks to some ad campaigns, or a few tweaks to some ads, ad images, or some product listing page changes that can actually push you over the top from not making money to actually making money. But the real question is, do you have a plan? Do you have a plan to get you to profits? First, if you don't, you're not alone. Second, don't give up. There is hope. And third, it took like 10,000 attempts to create the light bulb. Can you imagine if the guy stopped at like 9,999? That would be crazy, right? So maybe could be, you know what, you're in the wrong niche. Maybe it's time to pivot. Maybe you've been selling the wrong products in the wrong niche. It's not your fault. There are so many different ways to succeed online. Pivoting can actually turn a business around, and I am a huge proponent of pivoting. I pivot as often as I need to, and I'm not afraid to do it either. I know it's tough if you put a lot of work into something, a lot of time, energy, and money, and then all of a sudden somebody comes along, they're like, you know what, you should pivot. And you go, well, you resist because we're human. And after we've invested so much into something, it's very difficult for us to just say, okay, fine, I'm going to go try something else, like a different niche or a different angle or a different whatever it may be. But it can literally turn your business around. So timing can also turn your business around. Planning can 1000% turn your business around. The key is if something is not working, stop doing it. Like, don't ignore what didn't work, but just make sure you learn from it. Learn from all the past mistakes so that you can shift gears to better things. So you do have options and you have so many different paths that you can take. Which one is best? Well, I'm going to show you the best one today. Lack of sales can be very frustrating. You can change that and start getting consistent sales. So if you're willing to follow what I say, basically the best way right now is to plan ahead for Q4 and start testing now. If you're not sure how, planning, testing, and scaling and crushing Q4 can be daunting, but we're going to fix that. So if you're not sure what to sell, that can be fixed. If you're not sure how to scale, that can be fixed. If you're not sure how to email, that can be fixed. If you're not sure how to do retargeting, that can be fixed. So picture yourself actually making money and having monster days. Days where your phone just keeps sending you notification after notification after notification to the point where your wife and your kids or your husband and your kids and your friends and family are like, what the heck is going on with your phone? That just happened to me. So this was just my phone would just go off and go off and go off and go off and go off. And I had to turn the little cha-ching off because it kept interrupting everything that we were doing. So that's a screenshot of my phone. That's from the Father's Day frenzy we just went through. I had an amazing run. Next year is going to be even bigger, but Q4 is actually going to blow Father's Day away as far as profitability because the product that I sold, the products that I sold for Father's Day are going to carry over to Q4 very nicely. Plus, I'm going to go out and make more variations of the products that sold. Plus, I'm going to find more products to sell. So my goal is basically to have like 5 real winners that I'm scaling to large amounts every day for the Q4 rush, which should put me easily at 6 figures a month for October, November, December. That's my goal. Okay, these are big ones, but it is possible. It sounds like a dream, right? But it isn't. The point is, don't give up on your dream. Your dream is your goal. Your goal is what keeps you going, and goals are good. So we all have them. So what's yours? So please type your goal in the chat box now. Type your goal for the fourth quarter. What do you want to do? Is it 100,000 revenue? Is it 5,000 revenue? Let me see. So we got 2,500. Okay. Yeah, fourth quarter. I'm talking like 3 months: October, November, December. And just as an example, mine is 100,000 for that period, uh, which should be totally achievable because that's like 333,000 a month. I should actually raise that. Anyway, 6 figures sounds like a nice round number. Okay, so now we got like 50,000, 25,000. I just want to make a sale a day. 2,000, 1,000, 3,000. Okay, so we got all these different numbers coming in. That's fine. As long as you have some type of number in mind, that's a good thing. Yeah. And then pay back what I've spent on these programs. Well, that would do it too. So here's my goal for you. I want you to do that 100,000 in Q4 2025. So why 6 figures? Why not? You can aim for more. You can aim for less if you want. Why 3 months of Q4? Well, because a goal without a time frame is just a wish, and wishes don't always come true, right? So the point is, without the goals, we're all going to struggle to keep going. There's going to be bumps in the road. They're going to happen along your journey to success, but you have to keep going because you have a goal. So why tell you all this? Well, you need something to keep you going too. Bad days are going to happen. Tough days are going to happen. Tough weeks are going to happen. Goals give you something to focus on. So, I mean, you can feel sorry for yourself and wallow in self-pity. I've done that. I've been there. Or you can change anything you want in your life. So that's why you're here. Maybe you've tried and failed. That's why I put together that Q4 prep bootcamp. More on that later. Let's get into the training now. So let's dive in. I can't wait. So the first thing we're going to cover is the biggest issues that people face. First off is no plan equals no profit. I cannot tell you, and all the people that I've coached over the years, how many people I've seen that actually have a plan in place. I can tell you right now, two out of probably over 10,000 people that I've coached over the years. I think it's actually up to 12,000 now. Two had an actual plan in place. The rest of them, they're just winging it. They're just going month to month to month. And I used to be guilty of that myself. I had no plan in place. But once I started putting plans in place, I was able to say, okay, well, here's the deadline for this particular holiday or whatever it may be. So if I work backwards from that, I know when I have to start my research, my testing, my scaling, my email campaigns, my retargeting campaigns. I know when I have to shut off my campaigns, so there's no surprises. So I'm not scrambling like 2 weeks out from the actual holiday going, oh no, I didn't prepare. I didn't plan. I didn't plan ahead. And think about it too, like something as simple as uh, if I'm going out to my trailer for the weekend, we have to plan ahead a little bit because we have to figure out food and drinks and what we're going to do, and make sure we have firewood, make sure we who's going. We have to plan all this in advance. You can't just I can't just get up from my desk here, go out the door, get in my truck and drive to my trailer. Like there's planning involved in that. There's planning involved in every aspect of life. So why would our business be any different, right? But the main pattern that you see is there's no plan, so there's no profit. Don't wait until November. Don't put it off. You're going to miss a huge part of the rush if you do. What if, like, for the first time in years, you had every single thing in place when the start of Q4 hit, and you're like, man, I actually feel really good about this because now I'm not stressed. Now I have a plan. I've executed the plan. Now it's just a matter of finishing it off with the actual money coming in big time in the fourth quarter. That would be a nice feeling. The other issue that people have is they have no proven winners. And they have no proven winners because they're not testing to find winners before. And if you wait until the fourth quarter to start your tests, you're now testing when everybody else is scaling. So if people are scaling, the ad cost, there's a finite amount of, we'll call it like inventory available for ad space on like Facebook. And if you're testing when everybody else is scaling, your ad costs are going to be a lot higher than they are during the summer period when you can test things, even Christmas gifts. You can test them. And I know a lot of people are like, I'll never test a Christmas gift in the summer because I can't stand walking into Walmart and seeing like Christmas stuff go up too early. It's like it's not going up too early. Walmart knows that even though you don't like the Christmas gifts being up in like September or even August, or they do Halloween early or whatever they do super early, Walmart knows that there are a lot of people, and it makes it worth their time to put that stuff out there early because they do buy in advance. So different people buy stuff at different points in time. I have my ex mother-in-law would buy Christmas gifts year round, and she did it because she said, you know what, I can take my time, I can see what I like, prices are a little bit lower, um, and I don't have to battle people in stores to pick stuff up. So she just got in the habit of buying like basically all her Christmas gifts in the summer, and those people exist. So just because like you might not be that person and I might not be that person, it doesn't mean they don't exist. So we can be testing our products at a time when inventory is high, is well, inventory is the same, demand or people advertising is actually lower. So we can actually test for cheaper way in advance of the Q4 rush so that when the rush hits, we'll be scaling instead of testing. It's really cool. And I did this for a couple of years now. So you don't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste your money testing during the most expensive time to run ads. And a lot of people too are like, well, I'll just wait for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. No, you do not want to be testing during that period. In fact, even like running ads during that period, you're going to find the ad costs go up dramatically. So don't do that. You need proven winners and you need to be scaling them during during that period. Sorry. The third thing is there's no scaling strategy in place at all. So anybody that actually finds a winner, they have no clue how to scale it. So you need to fix that issue by following proven systems that actually work, and they work very well. And if you go on YouTube, you can find a ton of different ways to scale products. There's so many different guys and gals with so many different ways to do it. It doesn't mean there's only one way. It means there's a lot of different ways. And what you should do is take the way that works best in your ad account and use that one. That's what I do. I actually have I call it my hobby, which is going on YouTube, searching for scaling methods, and then I'll literally test them with my winners. And the ones that work are the ones that stay. The ones that don't work are the ones I don't use anymore. And that's a huge benefit that I have because I'm willing to go out and test all those things. It is a little bit more expensive for me, but it's worth it because I land on these strategies and these methods that I will tweak to suit my own needs, and it ends up working very well. and I have a dog here somewhere that just ate onions or something. My God, dog. Whew. Sorry about that. Okay, the other thing is there's zero email marketing taking place. There's no sequences, there's no marketing, there's no repeat sales, which is what email marketing brings in the most. And it's lost revenue big time. You can use email marketing for cart abandonment, but when you're sending emails to people who have already bought to you, the odds of them buying more from you is dramatically higher than just like sending emails to, spamming emails out there to random strangers. So email marketing can actually make up for and add to the profits on your store in a very big way. It's not just for Q4, it is year round, but email marketing matters. And I've seen too many people that are in my programs that just don't do it. They ignore it. And I'm not quite sure why. So zero email marketing is a huge issue, and no retargeting is another huge issue. So not everyone buys the first time. Think of this: somebody sees your ad on a phone. Maybe they're sitting at in a parking lot, or I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're on their couch and they're on their phone and they're playing with something before dinner, and then dinner rolls around and they don't get to go through with the order because something came up, so they just leave it. They'll come back later. Odds are they'll come back later if they added it to cart already. So you want to be hitting them with retargeting ads that brings them right back to that cart and reminds them that, hey, did life get in the way? No problem, come on back. And on Shopify, if you put the cart URL in there, it will actually fill the cart with the products that they were looking at and that they had added to their cart already. So all I have to do is complete the checkout and boom, they're done. Retargeting is huge, and it's missing from a lot of ad accounts that I look at. People have just no retargeting method, no retargeting at all taking place, and that can be a huge deal, not only for the add to cart, but also for targeting like sales or targeting new collections or targeting new products to your existing buyers. You can use retargeting for that purpose too. And those retargeting ads, although the volume is not as high as like cold traffic, they can bring in a lot of money, which is really nice because people know you, like you, and trust you, and they will buy from you a lot better. So those 5 issues cover the major gaps, the biggest one being no plan. But you do need to fix all of them in order to hit 6 figures for Q4 this year. So number 1 is planning. You need a plan of attack. Number 2 is research. You want to find what is selling, create a database of them. Number 3 is testing. You have to have a solid testing method. Number 4 is scaling. Once that winner's found, it's time to hit the accelerator on it with ads. And don't just stop at one winner. Go for 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Although one could bring you in 6 figures, to be honest. 5 is the back end marketing, email, and retargeting for the win. So once you have that, you now have like a real business making real money. That's what you need. And the fourth quarter is the absolute best time to do this. And right now is the best time to plan all this and start your research, start your design, start your testing so that you find these products and they're ready to go for the fourth quarter scaling. So the conclusion is this: I'm a huge fan of Q4 prep now. I never used to be. I just like basically take summers off. July and August, I wouldn't really do much at all. Now there are some evergreen niches that you can get into for July and August, of course, but just knowing that Q4 is out there looming makes me a happy camper. So that's why I start early now. I know how important it is, and that's why I want to kind of drill into your brain too that you should be doing this too. Like it's not a matter of it's too early. You would rather be early than late for this, right? So let's move on to the second part now, which is the solutions to basically fix all those issues that we talked about. Problem number 1 is no plan equals no profit. So you do want to plan ahead. Start researching now, start testing now, set up emails now, set up retargeting now, scale starting in October or even now if you want, but it's going to scale a lot better in Q4, especially if it's a gift type product. If it is a product that can sell year round, which does exist too, you could start scaling right now too. Problem number 2 is no proven winners to scale. So that's where you want to plan ahead and you want to start executing and start researching those winners now. Create designs based off of winners that you find, create variations of them, and test them out. You can make 6 figures with one winner. That is possible. If you have 2 winners, now you got an even better chance. 3 winners, you got an even better chance. But finding that one winner that turns everything around is like the, up in Canada here, we call it the TSN turning point of your business, where you finally landed on something that is actually profiting daily for you, and something that has enough market appeal and a big enough market to serve that it can pull in 6 figures for you very nicely. So make that your goal. Okay, find that one winner first, and you'll be shocked at how people start buying in the summer too. I already mentioned that, but it does happen. And that's where we cannot put our own preferences on this, because like me, I'm a last minute shopper myself. But like I said, I know people that are year-round shoppers, and when even October rolls around, they're like, "Yeah, I'm done my Christmas shopping." I'm like, "What? It's only October. I haven't even started. Is it December 24th? No, then I haven't started yet, right?" So we are all different, and just because we see things one way, it doesn't mean everybody does. Okay, problem number 3 is no scaling strategy, and again, plan ahead. So I have one that I'll show you. Let's go look at a Father's Day run. I'll teach you this method, but here we go. I'm just going to go into my ad account here. And I know a couple of people on here have already seen this, but I still like showing it because it was a nice little run. So I started with I moved over the name of the campaigns because I don't want to give away my products or anything. But so this was May 23rd, 2005. There's 132.93 spent. And the ROAS is over here, I think. Yeah, 5 purchases, 1.97, which was decent. Now, bear in mind, my store is in US and my ad account's in Canadian dollars, so the ROAS is actually reported lower than it actually is. So the whole stretch I was profitable, which is nice. But you can see it just started with one campaign. And then the next day, let's go to the 24th real quick. We got up to 3 on 67 spent on that one. I did a duplicate, and that one only spent like 18. But we had 3 sales at 1.85, and then going here, 25th, we're up to, well, we're at 111 spent, 6 sales at 305 ROAS, which is really nice. And then the 26th, we started to get, I think that weekend I was actually out at my trailer. And then here, we started getting more, 6 out of 2.54, purchases at 2.54, which is nice. The other thing is Facebook does under report. They don't report everything, or people buying more than one thing. They don't report that. And then here I started doing my method where I created more campaigns, and you can see that the old tried and true one was going up. No, this was the first one at the 144. I had increased the budget by like 20% a day, so we were at 2, but the ROAS dropped, of course, when I tinkered with the budget. But these new ones were starting to take off. 7 sales at 3.5, 5 sales, excuse me, out of 3.3. So now I'm at 14 for the day on 323 spent back on May 27th. But I kept scaling, and I kept going, and I kept adding more and more and more. Here's 17 sales, 451 spent. This campaign started doing really well, 9 sales at 3.2. This campaign struggled that day. It spent a lot of money, but it only had a 0.42. This campaign did really well, 7. So you can see that with my method of creating more campaigns, it actually allows me to take into account that sometimes campaigns will have a bad day, and they'll just, for no real reason, we don't know why. If you have multiple running, it eases that pain quite a bit. So then here on the 29th, I spent like 525, and I had 18 sales at a 2.08, which was very nice. And again, you can see that one, there's a campaign that struggled, but the other 3 did really well, which is nice. And then the 30th, and this, we were at 564 spent. And again, that one campaign, I probably should have shut it off at that point, but I left it on, even though it was struggling, which dragged down my overall ROAS. But I still had a couple campaigns that were doing really well. And then I go to the 31st, and we're almost done here. We're up to 733 per day. And again, overall, I was at 24 sales, which I think was actually more, at a 1.93 ROAS. And then the first, we really started ramping things up. We're at 833 per day. And some of these campaigns are spending like massive amounts. Even though I had the budget, the budgets have changed on some of these too. the daily budget. So we had 7, 6, 5 sales, 6 sales, 8 sales. This one was doing really well. And then 2 down here on this one. And then the second was Monday. Let's have a look at that. 811 spent, 25 sales. And then the third. Now we're at like almost 900 spent, 37 sales at a 2.45. And that was on a Tuesday, which is crazy. Then Wednesday we added more campaigns, so now we're at to 1,390 spent on that day for 50 sales at a 2.19 ROAS. So you can see what I'm showing you is the more campaigns you have, the more it spreads out the risk, and the more it allows you to spend while still maintaining a really solid return on ad spend. So that was a really, really, really good day. And then the fifth, we spent like $1,200 for 35 sales and 1.74. So you can see things do go up and down. And then the sixth, we spent, I think this was our biggest spend, was 1,722 on 56 sales, 56 purchases at a 1.96. But looking at the ROAS, there are a few that did really well. And there's a couple that did really poorly, actually, that I probably should have cut off, but I let them run because I was profitable. And then the seventh, I think we spent a little bit less, 1,561.48 for 39 out of 1.6. So that actually, the sales on that Saturday were not as good. And then Sunday, the day before I cut it off, the ROAS was dropping a little bit. And I think it was the weekend. I don't know why, but still spent a lot of money. And then Monday, I actually shut off the ads at like 11 o'clock a.m. So that was my cutoff because Father's Day is the 15th. But you can see that throughout that whole run, what I did and what I plan on doing for the fourth quarter is even more. Okay, it is fun when you're making a lot of money. You don't mind spending big bucks when big bucks are coming back in and you're profitable. And also there's some tweaks to that scaling strategy that I'm going to be doing in the fourth quarter just to keep the ROAS up as high as possible. I was a little more lenient on it than I probably should have been, but still overall I profited nicely from Father's Day. So I'm happy with that. But if I can profit a couple more thousand for profit from Father's Day, I could have. So anyway, you're probably looking at that going, okay, so you started at $100 per day and you got up to like $1,700 per day. I can never see myself doing that. That's insane. And that's what I'm saying is you will, when you go through it and you feel it and you do those amounts, I would love to have kept that running, and I would have if it were an evergreen product. I'd be up to probably like $2,000-$3,000 in ad spend per day on it if it's profitable, because ads aren't about just burning money. They're about spending money to get money back, and you want to get more back than you spend so that you can put some in your pocket at the end of the day. That's the whole thing. All right, so problem number 4 that people have is the email marketing, and that's where for Q4 you can literally start scheduling your emails now. You can start with the Black Friday Cyber Monday sale, and you can schedule in every email program. MailerLite is one that I like to use with Shopify, MailChimp, Klaviyo. All these programs allow you to schedule individual emails too, so that you can have them all written out. You can have them all ready to go. You can have a nice discount code that you can create on your store, and you can have that code expire on a certain time and date so that it lines up with your emails, and you can plug that code into your emails nicely, and then everybody's happy. And then when that particular one rolls around, like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, you already have your sales campaign, your email marketing taken care of. So you're not scrambling at the last second to all of a sudden have to write all these emails, like one the day before, and then one the day of, and then one to remind them, and then one, and then like 3 on the last day. You don't have to scramble to do that. So planning ahead and putting all these things in place with email marketing will take a load off you, especially when you're scaling and you're like stressing over spending, $1,000, $2,000 a day and trying to get money over to your credit card to pay it off, and making sure, your Printify is paid off or whoever you're using, and trying to maintain your spreadsheets and your profit and loss statements and all that good stuff. Set up the email marketing now so you can focus on the other stuff and not have to stress this out. Right? Set up a couple other sequences too, which would be nice. Have it all in place and ready to go ahead of time. And then the solution to no retargeting is this: just set that up now. Like, retargeting brings people back to your store, regardless of it being the fourth quarter or now. It can bring people back for abandoned cart. You can be running sales to previous customers only. You can do that year round. You don't have to wait until Q4 to do it. Mind you, when Q4 hits, it's really nice to do that too. So you could even plan ahead some sales for Q4 using retargeting ads, meaning your sales that you're going to plan, uh, that set of sales could only be for previous buyers. So your ad copy could say, hey, as a thank you for being a customer, here's our sale right now. And this is a Facebook ad you could run. And you could run the sale for like 3 days. And you could run one ad on day one, another version on day two, and then another version on day three saying, like, last day of the sale. Customer appreciation event ends today. Boom, say it, schedule it, all done. You can get this all set up ahead of time. Although retargeting can run 24/7, of course, for things like cart abandonment. So does that make sense? Are you getting excited about Q4 now? Are you thinking about it in a different light? Most people fail because they didn't plan ahead. They didn't have all those things already in place. So they go into scramble mode and it's not good. I can help with that part. So if planning is the answer, why don't more print on demand sellers do it? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. I don't know why people wing it. And I'm guilty of that myself, but I've been trying over the past few years to get out of that. So that leads me to the last part. Nice segue, right? Let's move on to the third thing, which is vital, and that is the next step. So you do have multiple options here. All right. You know the what part of Q4 prep and kind of the solutions, how you do them. You know the issues. You've seen the solutions. Now it's time for the exact how part. And this is the part that will make you the money, the part that takes you from making nothing to days like this. So this is another screenshot of mine from my store. It was a $2,000 day, which was wonderful. And this one had 46 orders at the time I took it. It actually, I think I ended that day at like 2,300, something like that, which is nice because that's US dollars too. So when I convert that to Canadian, I think that store was like $3,000 Canadian on that day. And that was June. I don't know what day that was. It was one of the bigger spend days, but not the biggest spend day that I had. Anyway, if you did that every day for 90 days of the fourth quarter, that's $183,613.50 in revenue, which is well over six figures, almost, 2 times the goal. So I won't teach it unless I'm doing it. You're in good hands. Let's finish this off. The reality check is all this, it's not a simple thing we're talking about with Q4 preparation. There's a lot of moving parts. It can be complicated to figure out. You need a couple things before you even start. So you need like systems, products, personalization helps, ads, free traffic, motivation guidance, training, coaching, most up-to-date methods, and more importantly, which I forgot to put on here, was a plan. So how do you do this? Well, you've got those good old two basic options of the easy way and the hard way. The easy way is to go from point A to point B in a straight line in the shortest time frame possible. The hard way is to take your time and figure it out on your own, make mistakes and get stuck and backtrack and all that good stuff. Eventually, you end up at the same point of success. It just takes a little bit longer. So the hard way is to go for it on your own. If you go to YouTube, you can search for how to do Q4 prep online. You might get results, but I don't think too many people talk about it because it's not a snazzy type of YouTube video to shoot. So you're going to get like different opinions, different styles, outdated methods, shifty people, tons of ways. You can go try each one on your own, and you've got something now. It's not the solution, but it's that annoying thing called information overload, which means you have so many options that you literally don't know what to do next. You don't know where to start. Typically, you're going to start overthinking, second guessing, overanalyzing. So you do nothing. And you get in that vicious cycle of going back to square one and saying, okay, I know I got a plan. How do I do this? Let me start over. And I'll go to YouTube and I'll try and figure this out. That route stinks. I don't suggest it for anyone. Instead, take the easy route. Learn from someone who's an experienced expert. I've been through this a bunch of times. Let's go back to 2005 for a second, and I'll just show you what I did. So back then, I took the easy way. I was looking for a mentor or coach right away to get out of my 9 to 5 job. So I was working at TD Ameritrade. I was the guy on the phone who took stock, bond, stock and stock and option orders. Sorry, we didn't do bonds. And I took the night shift at TD Ameritrade so that I could search the internet to find someone who could teach me all about my first business, which ended up being secured loan leads. And we would sell them to loan companies and banks in the UK. Without him, I'd probably still be sitting at a 9 to 5 job there as a regional credit manager in charge of risk for the southwestern region of Ontario. I don't know what it would be. Some boring name where I'd want to shoot myself every time instead of going into work. But by the way, I'd still be in this business too if the credit crisis didn't hit in 2007, 2008. I would still be doing this. I wouldn't even be doing print on demand. It was very lucrative, super lucrative. Anyway, if you want fast results and you want to avoid costly mistakes, if you want accountability and motivation, if you want personalized advice and unique proven strategies, I can provide all that, giving you the easy route, which brings me to my offer to you. Okay, at the beginning, I mentioned the Q4 prep bootcamp. To prep as preparation. That's what my offer is. I'll teach you how to prep for Q4 and get 6 figures starting now, not waiting until Q4 hits, starting now. Do you think you can do this? So far we've covered the issues, the solutions, and now what to do next. So my question is, do you want to take it to the old next level? Well, let me introduce this. It's the Q4 Prep Bootcamp. The info and the methods that I've shown, they kind of only scratch the surface, not even a dent. So this is all about planning, mainly planning, and then researching and designing and creation and testing and scaling and emails and retargeting, teaching you and then getting you to 6 figures this Q4. What is it? It's 3 live training sessions and support that you need to succeed. Sound pretty sweet? I think it is. I want to make sure you've got everything you need to profit. And I can't wait for the day that you tell me, Will, I got my first sale, or Will, I got my 100th sale, or Will, I hit that 6 figure mark. You report that back to me end of December. That'd be wonderful. When that happens, I'll be the happiest coach on the planet. So there is a warning now. This is not for everyone. Okay, if you're not interested, you can turn this off right now. If you are interested, stick around for another minute or two while I finish this off. So what you get is this, my coaching. It's actually 18 plus years experience now. I got to update this slide. Over 1.5 million, that's actually more too in sales, and over 1 million in coaching that I've generated. I use AI daily in my business too, and it's really, really helped me with planning. And I can walk you guys through how to plan with AI for your business too, which is wonderful. I do get free traffic. I used to have Etsy shops. I got to get rid of that. I have one running right now. It's just crap. It's not getting anything. I do have Shopify stores, multiple. I used to sell on Amazon. I used to sell on other t-shirt marketplaces. I can handle any tech issue you encounter, and I can get you profitable. But this is what you get. 3 live training sessions, 1 week apart, gives you time to complete each step in between. Replays are available if you can't make it live. Ask questions, get answers, and succeed. So that's the training side. I have some very, very, very cool bonuses for you too. The last bonus is one you're going to want to see. So we need a way to interact. Bonus number 1 is that dedicated support group, and that's available in the private Facebook group. It's the ultimate way to get support, post questions, get answers, network with like-minded individuals who speak your language and all have the same goal of just dominating the 4th quarter of 2025 with you. It's an awesome way to get support. So you get training and you get support. Does that sound pretty good? There's total value, $1,994. That's not all. I do have a couple more bonuses for you as usual. So you do need designs and mockups, and AI can help with that big time. I did a boot camp on that one already, and I feel like it's important to throw this one in here. So the AI design and mockup boot camp is yours. It's 3 sessions teaching you how to use AI for designs and mockups, everything you need to create those amazing listings and amazing ad images that you're going to be using. And you can even be using them for email images too. It's yours. So you get that, which is the boot camp, the support group, the other boot camp, which is now at $2,991 in value. And I'm not done though. And believe me, you want to stick around for the last one. I've got more. You need to email. Okay, you just have to. There's no 2 ways about it. Even if your ads are losing money or breaking even, email can put you over the top every single time. Okay, for some, this is difficult to learn. I do have a boot camp on that one too, and I'm going to throw that one in there. The email marketing bootcamp is yours. It'll help you master email marketing along with what I'll show you. So the 3 sessions, how to set up automated sequence, how to set up sales sequences, how to finally get email bringing in revenue for you. It's all yours. So the live bootcamp, the group, the existing AI bootcamp, and the email marketing bootcamp. Now we're at $3,988 in value. That's already a lot of amazing training to get you making money, but some are still a little stuck on using Shopify. And I still seem to get people into my universe who are like Etsy, I'll call them like Etsy lovers. I don't know why they can't tear themselves away, but they can't. So for those people, and for anyone who needs a refresher, or for people who haven't even started that, I do have a full Shopify course already done. It's 103 videos and it's yours. And it's got every single aspect from picking a name, domain, email address, to getting your first sale. Plus, there's a lot of bonuses within that course on paid ads, not just on Facebook, but I think there's Google and Pinterest in there too, as well as free traffic, blogging, and that kind of thing, and more. It's everything I know about Shopify. Getting you set up and profiting. You could just use that only, really, for the fourth quarter. It's yours. So that adds another $997 to it. So live bootcamp group, existing bootcamp, and then a full course for $4,985 in value. And those aren't even the best part. This is something, the next thing that I'm going to show you is something I've never done. So how about one more thing? Okay, you 100% need this. I think you'll love it. What if I gave you a winner to scale? And you might be thinking, is this guy crazy? Why wouldn't he just scale it himself? Well, I know what works. I also know that there's a lot of winners out there. And I also really, 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 really want you to be successful. So, and I was in my membership one time, and I can't remember what it was about, but there were some posts in there, and I said it actually makes me happier to see one of my members inside of my membership succeed instead of me making more money. And I know that's weird, and I know, but I'm not lying. Like that's actually true. Money is there, it's out there, you just got to grab it. But seeing somebody else making money makes me happier for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I'm a weirdo, but what if I gave you a winner to scale and you're like a winner? Okay, so I will literally hand over one and you just scale it on your own store. I've got a lot of them. I have existing ones. And what I'll do is if I don't find one in the testing inside the bootcamp that you'll watch, then I'll give you one of my existing ones to do. Okay, so I will give you a winning product to sell just to show you that all this stuff works. The scaling methods work. It is such a wonderful feeling when you have a winner that's actually producing results for you. Like I want you to experience that. So I know, I have no doubt. I already have multiple winners. I'll find more multiple winners. I want you to succeed. This proves it. Me handing you a winner. Okay, you'll scale it using the methods taught in the boot camp. This, I think, is the best bonus possible. This alone is worth way more than the entire boot camp because it's handing you something that's going to produce money for you, not just this year, but next year and the year after that, the year after that. Plus, you can make variations of it to do even more, put it on different products, do even more. Like it's just something that works very well. And a winner to me is something that in my testing has actually brought in sales profitably. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be handing over to you. So that I put $100,000 value on it because the winners that I find do this. Like this isn't like me just wishing this would happen. This is actually what happens in real life. So the value now just jumped up to $104,985. And I laugh at saying it because it seems absurd, but it's actually true. So I should charge that for this with all this value that you're getting, but I'm not. Okay, so I had a choice to make. The first option was sell this for cheap, get more people going. Second option was charge more, limit it to fewer people. And I did again, I went with option one. I think this is for everyone. So I priced that at $997. But since I want you to do this, I'm going to offer it at 50% off for $498.50, which I think is a great deal. Okay. And I'm sorry if the noise just went up. There's some stupid truck outside my house doing some vacuuming or something. The URL is at the bottom of the screen now. Make sure you put www in there. So www.printondemandcoach.com/Q4. So the warning though, that's for the first 10 people only because I know people don't tend to do as much during the summer. So I'm putting a cap on this. Plus with that, the winning product, I have to cap this out. Okay, so once 10 join, the deal's over. 50% off, limited time, links bottom right of the screen now. You're getting everything to prep for Q4, and the deal is the discount. Okay, there's the URL. If you want to be profitable, you have two options at this point. Do it alone, right? A lot of people do. Try to reverse engineer everything you just saw, get confused, get overloaded, overthink it, second guess yourself, and waste time, waste energy, and struggle. Or option two, get this bootcamp. Okay, the bonus number one is the support group. Bonus number two is the AI design and mockup bootcamp. Bonus number three is the email marketing bootcamp. Bonus number four is the full Shopify course. And the best bonus, bonus number five, oh, I spelled winning wrong. One winning product to sell. So, which option do you prefer? I think it's a complete no-brainer. The one winning product is worth more than the price alone. It just is. I do all the heavy, the dirty work for you and just hand you one. Okay. So is that a lot of money? Nah, not for the massive amount of training support you're going to get, plus that bonus. I have a goal. I want you to hit six figures this Q4. I'm giving you everything to get you there. You can try this alone. Some of you will. This is for the ones that want to skip the School of Hard Knocks, which I have a PhD from. And who am I to teach you? I'm an experienced expert who has been through failed businesses in the past 18 years online. I know what it feels like. I've been in your shoes. It's not fun. Okay. I wish I had started this like 10 years ago. I wish this existed 10 years ago. If you're not making sales, Q4 can turn your entire year around. There is zero doubt about it. It is just the most wonderful time of the year, bar none. Plan ahead and get massive sales during Q4 this year. Don't wait. If you have any questions, fire me an email, contact@printondemandcoach.com. So what's the difference between now and later? Well, now you might be struggling and later you won't be anymore. So this is a limited time offer. Once 10 join, the deal's gone, price goes up. Don't wait, be in that first 10 people. Now some common questions that I get all the time. Number one, what exactly is this? Well, it's 3 live training sessions. We're going to cover everything: research, design, testing, email marketing, retargeting, and scaling, everything. You're going to be shown exactly how to do this over my shoulder. So you're going to watch me as I'm actually in my ad account too, as I do designs, as I set up testing campaigns, as I set up scaling campaigns. Even if I don't have a winner from the testing in the bootcamp, I do have other winners I can pull from a huge database of winners over the years that I've accumulated. So there's support also available in the group, plus all those bonuses. So when is it happening? Very soon. We got to get this going. So it's the first session is the 24th, second is the 1st, third is the 8th. Those are Tuesdays, 11 a.m. If you can't make it live, no problem. Do I need a store for this? Yes, you do. So you're going to need your own online store. If you do not have one yet, I can help you with that too. I've got that existing training that you can have, works with Shopify, and you get the full Shopify course. So there is no excuse for not having a Shopify store. I prefer it because it allows me to run ads and do email marketing, which I cannot do on Etsy. Okay. What happens after you sign up? You get access to the private support group. You get instant access to the bonuses inside the group, and where there's a welcome post inside there with everything you need to get started. Okay. Will I make money doing this? That's the goal. So yes, you will. Like, I mean, I can't 100% guarantee anything. The only thing truly guaranteed in life are three things: death, taxes, and things will change. That's what I tell my kids. So I'm going to give you everything you need to start making money right away. Scale with paid traffic to these winning products. Not only that, but you're getting one winning product to actually work with and scale and make some freaking money for once. So we're going to be using the most up-to-date methods and AI to do all of this. So why should you join? Well, I think there's tons of reasons, but you're getting the training, you're getting the support, you're getting a bunch of bonuses, and you're getting a winning product handed to you on a silver platter. So I wish this existed when I started out in the business, but it didn't. And nobody gives away winning products. They hide them like you wouldn't believe. They're pretty easy to find now, though, with spy tools. Anyway, so what if you can't make a live session? No problem. All replays are posted. There's summaries. There's clickable timestamps for every replay. Thank you to AI for providing that, because I literally punch in the transcript now, ask it to summarize it, ask it to give me 10 key moments with clickable timestamps, and AI is like, here you go. And then it just makes it so much better for people to navigate this, especially when they're watching replays. So I made it as easy as possible to do this bootcamp. So if you have more questions, again, contact me by email. Are you ready? Awesome. Can't wait to get started with you. If you're still on the fence, here's a couple of testimonials, then we'll close this off. These are my favorite ones. So I've known Will for a few years. I have a couple of his courses. You'll always learn something from him, whether you're at the beginning, intermediate, or advanced stage of your business. He teaches what is working for him now, and he teaches in a simple, easy to understand way. I was able to implement one of his courses within the first lesson, made my investment back. I love that one. Oliver, I don't usually make public posts on Facebook, but I feel I need to tonight. Will, you could be spending your time making money for yourself instead of creating such great and insightful content. I truly believe you genuinely care and want to help people. You got me started with print on demand back in February, and I'm already seeing great success. Hit several bumps along the way, but just believe in yourself that you can do this and you will. Take care. And then Chris, I've been following Will for nearly 3 years now. To this day, I still think he's one of the best in the business when it comes to coaching, print on demand, and Facebook ads. Purchased a couple of his courses in the past, and they've always been great. Everything he teaches has been battle tested and proven, so you can trust the strategies that he shares. Definitely follow this guy. You won't regret it. If you want more, there's my PPC coach site. I got to move those over. There's like 175-ish on there. If you want 3 reasons, here you go. No problem. Number 1, a winning product. This should be your number 1 reason. This alone should have you joining right now. I have a lot of winning products, and I'm going to hand you one. And you're going to scale it using the methods that you learn inside here for the 4th quarter. I've spent a lot of time using the gift angle online successfully, and I know what works. Not only that, if I do not find one in the testing inside the bootcamp, then I'm just going to go to that database and pull one out and give it to you. Okay. So regardless, you're getting a winning product. Number 2, planning equals success. If you start now, your 4th quarter will kick some serious butt. If you ignore this and you're like, he doesn't know what he's talking about, I'm just going to wait, like I always do every year, and then I scramble, and then my 4th quarter is crap, and then I wonder what happened. Don't do that. Like just change something, do something different, do something that you wouldn't normally do. Plan ahead. Let's do it together. So, which leads me to reason number 3, the definition of insanity. If you're not really getting sales, you cannot keep doing the same thing and expect different results. Changing things up, pivoting your strategies, pivoting your marketing, doing something different can get you to a better place. So if you're struggling and you don't change anything, you're just going to continue struggling. If you want to succeed, at some point you have to go, you know what, let's do this. Finally, let's do something different. You might be thinking, this guy is nuts. Why is he thinking about the 4th quarter when we're only at the start of the 3rd quarter? Well, there's a good reason for that. So separate yourself from the competition. Do something different. Don't follow the definition of insanity, which is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. All right, my friends, thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. I can't wait to help you succeed. You're buying something unique here, training support, and some very cool bonuses, and one that I haven't really ever thrown in before, but I think I'm really putting my money where my mouth is here. So if you skip it, you know what? I'll call you crazy, but we can part as friends. I have a lot of crazy friends anyway. So do not wait on this. It's a limited time offer. Let's get you profitable. I'll do everything I can to get you there, but I can't make you do this. So thanks for coming on. I appreciate your time. Get in now if you haven't already. I'll take any questions you have, but otherwise, you're free to go at this point. And we just hit 12:01, which is perfect. So we did an hour. All right, I'll take any questions you have. Well, there's a good question. How do I get on? Well, right at the bottom right of the screen, www.printondemandcoach.com/Q4. That's the order form. Fill that out, enter your details, and then you'll be taken to a thank you page, which has full instructions on what to do next. And then we start live next week, basically. Okay, if you're getting a 404 error, typically, well, that's because there's no www in it. So let me try this. www.printondemandcoach.com/Q4. There you go. Make sure you put the www dot in there, this part. If you don't, it might give you an error because I have some entry in my DNS somewhere from my old site, which is not redirecting properly using the www part. So that is most likely the culprit. Let me know if that works for you. If not, send me an email and I'll help you out there. WW for the win. Nice. Good stuff. Thank you for asking though. I appreciate it because I know I'm having that issue and I'm trying to resolve it with Liquid Web, who I host my other site on, the original site on, and then I moved it to system.io, and then I have like almost like two domains. If you go to just printondemandcoach.com, it'll show a different theme than www.printondemandcoach, which is the real site. So I do have to fix that. And you know what? You just reminded me. I think I'm going to get on them today to remove those DNS entries. All right. URL to join right there. Good. So had some medical issues and motivational issues, but I've already bought the engagement program. I know they do work. Do I still support? Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Oh, that's actually a good question. Once you get in, basically to any of my boot camps, you're in. Like you have pretty much. I I hate using the word lifetime access because if something happens to me, um, then your access is gone. But so like you're in there as long as the program is online. Put it that way. Is that better? Because I can't legally use the term lifetime. You know what I mean? But like once you join the boot camp, you have access to all this stuff for as long as we'll call it my lifetime. How about that? Because that I don't know what the legal ramifications are of it, but for a long time, like just because the boot camp ends, it doesn't mean you can't go back in and get access to the trainings and support within the boot camp, right? That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but anyway. All right. What is the winning product? Well, here it is. I'll just show it to you right now. No, I can't show you the winning product. Like that's um uh I know you're joking, but that's actually kind of funny. So the winning product is going to come number one. We're going to be doing research, design, and testing, and we're going to find winners. Okay. If if by some weird reason I can't come up with a winner in that part of the boot camp, then I'm going to dig into my database of winners and I'm going to give you one. Okay. And oh, here's a good question. Is it the same winner for everyone? Yes, it is. But keep this in mind. The winner that I'm going to give is going to be one that has such a massive market that I cannot possibly hit. I don't have enough money to spend on ads to hit the entire market for this. Think of it that way. So neither do you, and neither do the handful of other people who join this bootcamp. So if we're all working on scaling this thing together on our own stores, it's going to be really, really good. Like really good, like amazing. So I'm not going to give out a unique winner to everybody because that would, I mean, I have a finite number of winners that I use on my own stuff, right? So I can't really be doing that. But the one that I am going to provide is one that has worked well in previous Q4s for me and made me a lot of money. And you will see how to scale it on your own store and pocket all the profits from it. So plan A is we go through all the research, design, and testing. We come up with our own winners, right? And then I give you one from that plan because you'll be seeing me doing all the testing anyway. So you'd be like, all right, well, this one's winning, so let's go. Plan B, if by some weird reason I don't come up with a winner in the testing, which I'm confident I will, um, then I could dig into my database and I'm like, okay, here we go. Well, I've been doing this a long time. I got a lot of winners. So I don't mind sharing one with you guys that has won before. So either way, you're getting one. Put it that way. All right. Let's see. WW for win. Okay, Rick, fire me an email and we'll talk about that. So I don't have Shopify, so can I use the course in the bundle? Yeah, absolutely. The Shopify course will teach you how to get a Shopify store up and running. So like in so much detail. There's 103 videos in there. It's a full blown Shopify course, like to get you set up and running. No stone is left unturned. So and plus you have me too if you get stuck anywhere when you're setting it up. And Okay, another question on themes. Everybody always asks me about Shopify themes. Use the Dawn theme. It comes with Shopify. You don't need to pay for extra themes. There's no need anymore. Back 5 years ago, yeah, oh, I could see it. Now, no. The Dawn theme, which is their default theme, has everything you need and loads the fastest, is coded the best out of any that I use the Dawn theme on every single store I do. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm gonna close with that. It is lunchtime, and you know what? You know what's funny? Just as sidebar before I close, when you work at home and you have construction work going on outside your house, like I don't know if they were draining sewers with some big vacuum truck. They literally did it for the full hour that I was doing this webinar, and then as soon as I stopped, like now, they left. Like, what is happening? Like, why do they do that? It's like they know when I'm doing a live webinar, so they sit out there on the street. I don't know if you guys could hear it in the background, but I hope my microphone cancels everything out. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. Everybody have a wonderful day. For those of you who are already in there, thank you. We'll see you very soon. For those of you on the fence, if you're on the fence, just send me an email. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. For those of you who are going to buy later, that's cool. But we do have a limitation on this, and we are getting started next week. So, I don't want to say you might miss out, but don't miss out. Put it that way. This is going to be a real good one because the Q4, man, it's just the best time of the year. The best time of the year. In fact, yeah, yeah, I don't want to say that, but you will be making the lion's share of your revenue for the entire year during Q4. The other times are like Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day. All those other holidays are pretty good, but not as that. Like the big daddy of them all is Q4. Maybe because it's a 3-month period. Maybe because it's the time where everybody is definitely giving gifts to everybody. But there's so many options in here, and you already saw how much money people are spending online during Q4. So just get a tiny slice of that gigantic pie, and you'll be very happy. Okay, my friends, I'm going to close with that. Everybody have a wonderful day. And I'm also going to send out the replay. Yes, that was the last question. The replay will be going out too. So thank you. Have a good day, and we'll talk to you soon.